The Limpopo province has rather issued a tender inviting bids for the renewable energy strategy action plan, and the aim is to really help the province reduce its reliance on Eskom, although Limpopo, rich in coal deposits, is home to a new power station, that is Medupi, and it's now pinning its long-term energy supply in renewables. Our reporter Moloko Moloto, with the very latest for us, joins me again for that update. Maluma, great to have you back. I mean, what's the latest from where you stand?
Good morning, Rahadi Tumelo. Mtotwane. Indeed, we are in Limpopo, joined by the Premier of the province. Two things. One, they are doing what they call the technical handover of the site. That's where the new Central Academic Hospital, that's how they call it, is going to be constructed just outside the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. And of course, that particular hospital would require energy or electricity to function properly. And in the midst of this rolling blackouts, we also now, as I'm now going on to my second issue, the issue of the energy plan, which the province, renewable energy, I must emphasize. Let me now introduce the Premier of the province, Stan Matabata. Tunaholo, thank you so much for your time. Maybe before we get into the issue of the energy plan, this particular hospital that you say you're going to construct, what are the timelines? How big is it going to be? How different is it going to be compared to your Petersburg Hospital and Mankweng?
Remember, this is an academic hospital, which says you'll be having specialists, professors in the field of health, being located here in the province. They will not be visiting professors only. Okay. There will be professors that will be stationed in the province, staying in the province, and it will be in the position to can also produce more specialists from the province, because you'll also be having the academic school, medical school here.
All right, let's now talk about the plan to move towards renewable energy. I have seen that you have issued out a tender inviting people who might be interested to assist in putting this plan in place. What is the idea? Are you intending to move away from the national grid? Are you hoping to now have the province rely on renewable energy? Is it even sustainable?
The fact of the matter is that the national grid is not sufficient to the needs of the economy in this country, not only the province. In fact, if you look at it, in fact, in the entire SADC, they are starting to experience that. So, as a result, the president, in his State of the Nation address, did request all, in fact, he issued a directive that all provinces, all municipalities must come up with plans that are going to boost the capacity of the grid currently. It's not necessarily that we want to be totally off the grid. I'm not sure as to whether it will be possible.
Okay. I'm afraid for rushing you, we are out of time. But I just want you to give us the details. I mean, we know we are blessed with the sun. Mm-hmm. Are you looking at perhaps having a massive farm where you're going to have the solar panels erected there? How is this going to be rolled out?
We're looking at both. We're looking at the sun, solar. We're also looking at wind.
All right. I know, Premier, that there were plans at some point to build a 1,000 megawatt coal-fired power station at the industrial park of the Makado-Musina Special Economic Zone, and that flopped. And I do remember the president of China, Xi Jinping, when he was addressing the UN's General Assembly, saying that in 2021, China is going to stop funding coal energy projects. What's going to happen with regard to that particular intention? Are you also gravitating towards renewable there?
We have not abandoned that idea. We have absolutely not abandoned that idea, because like we said, we always say we want to come up with something that will still also involve coal, but clean coal. We come up with something that will involve clean coal, that will not be very hazardous to our environment. So that is why I'm saying we have not abandoned that idea. We're still toying with that idea where there are people, there are technicians, technical people who are actually working hard.
Yeah. Let's talk about the money then, Premier. How much do you anticipate it would cost, particularly with this grant plan of renewable energy?
I wouldn't have the figure of the curves now. I wouldn't have the figure of the curves.
Yeah. You also spoke, as we conclude, during your delivery of the State of the Province address, that you want all the government buildings to be fitted with the solar panels on the rooftops. How far is that project? And I'm more emphasizing more on clinics and hospitals.
Yes, it is still at a technical level, at a planning stage. But EXCO has already approved. In fact, we have moved a stage because EXCO has approved, and the Lokotla also, the government Lokotla has also approved that project.
When is rubber going to hit the road with regard to that particular energy implementation?
I wouldn't have those specifics, Moloko.
The Premier of Limpopo Province, Chubusten Lima Tabata, not committing to the timelines, but of course we have seen that they've issued out a tender inviting the people with the expertise to assist in terms of putting together that particular plan. Of course, it would remain a plan until we see movement, until we see the construction of that particular plant. What is interesting is that they are saying this is going to be a renewable energy project, and as we now know that the president continuously talk about this just energy transition, which is coming at a huge cost, $8.8 billion that the Western countries are pledging to us as a country, trying to move us away from coal. And of course, some cynics have always said, yet we continue to produce this coal, exporting it to the Western European countries such as Germany. And on the other side, they are saying that we must move away from the coal or fossil energy.